Good morning, everyone. This is Royce coming back at you with yet another episode of my ongoing intermittent series, Propped Up. And today on the docket, you don't know the power of the dark side. Dun, dun, I can't do the Sith March. Ba, ba, ba. Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars. If they should bar wars, please let the Star Wars stay. A little shout out to my boomers and Gen Xers in the chat or in the comments because that is a reference to a bit from literally 1977. That was Bill Murray as a lounge singer doing lounge covers of popular movie tracks, which was a parody of how the disco era was kind of doing stuff with like the Star Wars Cantina band disco and stuff. Anyway, yes, it is Darth Vader's lightsaber, Black Series VFX full saber. Look at it. She's gorgeous, mate. She's absolutely gorgeous. And let's hear it. Let's hear it. Oh, yes. Ah. And there we go. Oh, oh yes, that is the Darth Vader's lightsaber. Yes. For those who have been wondering, this has been behind you the entire time and you never knew. Oh. And so I've had this a while. I've had this since the old apartment, but I never had an occasion to put it together. I finally put it together when I was feeling pretty down a couple months ago, uh, and needed batteries for it. So I asked my brother to get the batteries for me. So yes, one of the three originals. You had Obi-Wan, Luke slash Anakin, and Vader's lightsaber in the original film. In like the OG like pre special edition version, it looks more red than or it looks more orange than red, but that is kind of like that could just also be dated effects. Also, I know the irony of not wearing my Star Wars shirt on Star Wars Day. Look, guys. It's in the wash. It's literally in the dryer right now. And you can tell that I've had this a while because it actually does have a bit of a dust on it now. But like the just the craftsmanship on this alone is so good. It's such a good prop. Like look at this, you can see into the barrel of the blade. You can see like this is real metal. These are actual wires and stuff. Ooh, yes. One of the best sound designs of all time. Now, if memory serves, Vader actually adjusts the length of his blade using this little dial here, but I'm not sure. Then, of course, you have his belt loop. And this is something I noticed only after buying this piece. Vader's got some very large fins on the handle of his blade. And it kind of hurts to hold in a normal hand, but I realized that this is for the grip of his glove. This is so that he can keep it grasped even in a leather-clad fist. It gives him more purchase. That is both a practical thing for the actor and also makes sense because he's, a disfigured force user who can't really do, who like Otherwise, he'd be wasting unnecessary like force powers, keeping the blade in his hand, keeping it from slipping out like that. This version of the saber also came with a kyber crystal, and you can kind of see how it was designed too from this. So in the in the in this part here, you actually screw these in, and you can see here that there's a little connector where you connect this fluorescent light tube or this kyber crystal into the thing. I will say, like, my one gripe about the kyber crystal, it's not red. It turns red when you plug it in, but you can't see it when it's plugged in. That's so dumb. Like, why would you do that? This is, of course, back when kyber crystals were more relevant in the Star Wars canon. Um, for those who don't know, kyber crystals are the are the crystals that are used to uh, not power but direct the laser blade in the lightsaber. So it'd sit right about here, and then the battery or whatever that would be in this area would push the energy through this, focus it into a saber blade, and it would come out here. Now, of course, modern day science tells us you cannot contain laser or you cannot contain a laser like that. You could contain a plasma like that, but not a laser. A laser is light. Light penetrates anything but solid material, and even then, it could sometimes penetrate that. So it can't technically. So you could not technically have a perfectly, blade-shaped lightsaber. Um, also, it comes with a little stand appropriately uh, that's appropriately uh, Death Star looking. Very nice, very nice. I got this off eBay for 180, which is only $30 above market value. Not bad for what was new in box. Um, I did throw away the box though. Like after I finally put it together, I'm like, I should get rid of this. It brings no joy. Also, I don't have as much storage as I used to. Like my room's about the same size. I got the closet, but the closet's full of books and stuff right now. Books and clothes. And it fits neatly like that, and blah, blah, blah. Now, people wonder why I like villains. And, I mean, unfortunately, it is kind of just a very simplified reason. Villains look cool. I didn't like Vader because I thought him being an assistant to genocide was okay. I liked Vader because he wore leather or wore black leather and had a red sword. He was cool. Yeah, it's weird talking about stuff like that because it's like, why do we like villains? And it's people get so wrapped up about that too because I posted some commissioned art I got of some of my like demonic characters in my fiction in the stuff I'm working on. Yeah, personal novelizations and stuff. Like, and someone was like, Royce, you gotta stop with this demonic stuff. And I'm like, dude, this is fiction. This is stuff I'm writing. It's not real. I'm not doing Satanism. I'm actually very paranoid about Satanism, to be honest with you. Literally returned a Motley Crue t-shirt because I was scared of... Sorry. I literally returned a Motley Crue t-shirt because it had a pentagram on it and that made me uncomfortable. But no, I think, like, villains in media are you have to because they are villains. You have to buy their that they are okay with them being evil. So they dress them up in weird, wonky ways, like Darth Vader is such a hodgepodge of design elements. He's half samurai, half Nazi, half, like European Black Knight. His name comes from the. His name is both a pun on invader and a reference to the to Dutch or whatever, Vater, meaning father, dark father. Because George Lucas had this whole world built up in his head years before he even made the films. Um, yeah. Although in the original version, Anakin and Vader were two separate characters, but Anakin was still cyborgified, and so when he's trying to tell people no, I can't go back to war. Look what they did to me. Shows off his cyborg components. Um, I don't know. But what does the lightsaber represent? I guess I should be saying, because that is kind of the focus of this, isn't it? Why do we love these stupid little metal sticks that have light bulbs on the end? It, to quote Obi-Wan, it's an elegant weapon from a more civilized age. It's the sword. The sword is such an iconic, heroic weapon. Both heroic and villainous. You know, uh, King Arthur had Excalibur. Mordred had Clarent. Uh, it's it is a weapon that implies nobility and heroicism. The chivalric hero. People who are far more intelligent than me have gone into massive detail about these kinds of things. And the lightsaber just takes that and adapts it to a science fiction world. It replaces forged steel with a laser or with a laser beam. It, it's very. I can't do the nerd voice. It's very like that stereotypical nerd voice. It's halfway Daffy Duck. I can't do it very well. Um, it's super fun. Um, and because that's what's so cool about Star Wars is that it is this fantasy retold through science fiction. And again, it's a hodgepodge. It is anachronism. It's a World War II story starring cowboys, knights, wizards, all in space. The Ewoks are the Viet Cong. The Rebel Alliance are D-Day Marines. The Lucas's words, not mine. The Empire are a combination of the Nixon administration and the Nazi Party. That is the kind of weird, stuff that went into this. And the fact that it was such a low budget production led to it being a lot more ramshackle and felt more lived in. Because you had the Death Star, which was your stereotypical shiny sci-fi, but then you had stuff like Mos Eisley and the Millennium Falcon, which were these very dingy, used machines. Stuff that really didn't exist at the time. And you even see it in the lightsabers. Vader's is such a beautiful piece of machinery. Sleek, silver and black. It is gorgeous to behold. Whereas Obi-Wan's is kind of this weird little stick. It looks like someone had welded a Tesla coil to like it looks like this, like all the outer components were stripped off. Where Obi-Wan is basically holding onto the battery casing and, using the top. Because, like, he's lived in the desert for 20 some odd years. And then I think they still give him his original lightsaber design in the prequels, so that kind of ruins the whole storytelling of that, but whatever. Look, we can talk about how whoever ruined Star Wars all day. Lucas ruined Star Wars because he made the prequels. Uh, the marketing department of Fox in the 70s ruined Star Wars because they made frickin' the Star Wars holiday specials. The Ewoks cartoon, the Caravan of Courage, the Droids cartoon. Actually, I think the Droids cartoon was Nelvana, so that was probably pretty good. Um, like, people can't lay Star Wars' corpse at the foot of J.J. Abrams. Mind you, Rise of Skywalker is a garbage movie, but it's not the most garbage movie in the franchise. I don't know. I remember arguing with someone where they said that Caravan of Courage was now the fifth best Star Wars movie, and I said, what's the fourth? Because I am an avid Last Jedi defender. And they said, I plead the fifth. And, I'm not even going to get into that this time. We're not talking about the sequels or the prequels. We shouldn't be, anyway. We are talking about the OG lightsaber. The OG bad guy lightsaber. Here's how iconic Vader's lightsaber was. They had to go so far off the reservation for Darth Maul's lightsaber. What if instead of just one lightsaber, he had a frickin' double lightsaber? And then with Count Dooku, he had kind of a curved handle, which is actually better for, dueling, because the curved blade allows you to extend your arm more naturally. Okay, here, let me show you. For Darth Vader to have held his lightsaber forward, he would have to do this. Whereas with a curved saber, he could do this. And then the Inquisitors have that stupid rotating one, which looks god-awful. I get that it was a toy design, and I hear Rebels is actually a very good cartoon. I haven't actually watched a lot of the stuff. I hear Andor's really good. I started Obi-Wan, never finished it. I liked Star Wars when it was scrungly, when it was just kind of a low-budget, independent feature. Corporate America ruins everything. I think that's one thing that we can all agree on, is that the corporate machine trying to turn things into a product does lead to its decline in its integrity. I don't know. If you disagree with that, call me an idiot, whatever. Anyway, I just wanted to share something I'm very fond of and has secretly been behind you for months now without you realizing it, and it will be behind you forevermore. Anyway, happy Star Wars Day, everyone. I'll see you all tomorrow because, oh Lord, tomorrow is going to be insane. Let me tell you, guys. I apologize in advance. This is Royce Miller. I'm outie.